Welcome to the Non-Binary Show. I'm Sam and I'm bisexual.
I'm Mika and I'm non-binary.
We started this podcast as a way of getting to know each other more before getting married.
Now it's just a place where we talk about queer shit, sometimes lighthearted, sometimes more serious stuff.
But whatever we talk about, we hope that by listening to us, you don't feel so alone.
Today,
how can I make the words I use more gender inclusive?
Google it. Or listen to this podcast.
But first, shout out to our 85th Instagram follower, my brother-in-law, who has found this podcast and is probably telling my sister everything I say.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah. Sure. No, I'm joking. I do love him. We've had a message from another listener. Their name is Kevin, and they got in touch with us on Instagram. Hi, Sam and Mika. My name is Kevin, and I'm your listener from Canyon City, Colorado. Brackets, you had it right, just like Canyon. It's the Spanish word for that. I love your show, and I'm so happy you got married. Heart emoji! I'm non-binary / genderqueer, and your show makes me so happy knowing I'm not alone, especially when you say, you're valid. It drives away the darkness of the rampant homophobia and transphobia I'm surrounded by and immersed in at my work. Thank you so much.
It's very nice to hear that we actually help people.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
Yeah. Like, I honestly feel like we're making a difference. Feels... I mean, it's not supposed to make us feel good because we're doing it for other people, but it makes me feel good that I am helping other people.
It makes me feel good that it's working.
Yeah.
Because the reason for this podcast is to show that support for other people.
Yeah.
And to show that people like us exist. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
You've got a piece of news for us this time. You never have news for us.
I have news, and those are, of course, not very good news. Well, kind of good news, I guess. So, I don't think I've ever talked about what's going on in Lithuania regarding marriage and, like, civil partnership.
No, I don't think we've done that.
So, the MP that we always talk about, Raskevicius,
yeah.
He's trying to get this through. Mm-hmm. He's trying to make change at least something, so same-sex couples could make a family, like officially, officially, maybe not marriage yet, but at least partnership. That's why the public is really mad, because for some reason a bunch of people think that legalizing same-sex partnerships would destroy family.
Yeah.
Who knows why? Like, I honestly don't understand that. Like,
bringing something else in isn't banning something else.
Everyone knows, and there's statistics and, like, a bunch of evidence that marriages break because of alcoholism, like abuse.
Yeah.
People just don't get along.
Yeah.
Not because of gay people.
I know.
Like, LGBT has nothing to do with their marriage successfulness. Like, if we don't exist, it doesn't make our marriage successful. And especially if we legalize this partnership, same-sex couples could finally feel a bit better. Like, that people they could feel the same, they could have the same rights as straight couples.
Yeah.
But because a lot of MPs don't really feel like this would be a good idea, and a lot of people of public are against it, like hard against it, like very...
So there's no backing.
Yeah,
basically.
There's really not a lot of backing. There are, like, that's why there are so many articles right now about LGBT in media, because they try to show that we just normal people like everyone else.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be afraid of, there's nothing to hate on. And that just makes people even angrier for some reason. And they just keep saying that all these articles, just shoving it in their faces, and, like, now they hate it even more. So what they achieved now, and they have this project for partnerships, which really doesn't stand close to marriage. It's still way less rights as a couple than straight people could
what
have.
exactly does it give you then?
Of course, you have a paper, like you have a certificate, right? that you
Yes,
got
okay.
partnership. So the reason we got civil partnership, you and me, was because marriage and civil partnership is the same thing, just with a different name and different traditions and stuff. So we got civil partnership because we feel like marriage is, like, because it has such a long history of giving away a wife like an object and stuff.
Yeah.
And we felt like this, we don't want to support that, and we don't really need to be like actual marriage thing. So we got civil partnership, which for us is the same thing, and we have same rights as people have in marriage. In this case, it's very technical language they use. I tried to...
Do you want me to read this?
I don't know if it's even...
So this is Google Translate doing this for us. Do you want me to do this then?
Yeah, I guess you could.
A partnership is a fact of cohabitation between two persons, brackets partners, registered in accordance with the procedure established by law for the purpose of creating and or developing, protecting a relationship based on constant emotional attachment, mutual understanding, responsibility, assistance, respect, and or similar relationships, and the voluntary determination to assume certain rights and obligations.
This is that concept that got leaked. So I didn't mention that it got leaked. It's
Okay.
It's not yet like a thing. It just got leaked. The project itself, which is still being prepared for the vote. It's like a bill.
Yeah.
Being prepared for a vote. So they're trying to make a compromise so opposition would be willing to vote for it.
Yeah.
Because now those people are just like no.
Yeah.
So they're trying to make
know a thing about it.
Yeah, so
leave
they're
us
trying,
alone.
Yeah, they're trying to make a compromise. So of course you can't do it in church. You would be doing it in
Of course you can't
registration
do it. Of course
office.
you can't do it in a church. No, not at all.
Who would want to do it in a church? Yeah, so basically what all the people who get married or civil partnership, they want to be secure about their possessions they have, and if they have a house, as well as being in a relationship. It's not just like I love you, you love me, and we're getting married just for that.
Yeah.
You get your possessions together, you get that security as well. So this partnership bill would give you that, at least.
Good.
Yeah, that you get. Pretty much that's all you get.
Oh, great.
So, of course, they have to be over 18,
Mm-hmm.
like pretty much everything else. And they can be family members and stuff like.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, so you can choose your partner's name, you can choose to combine the names, you have both names, that you have as well, that you get.
Yes. In relation to that, sorry to talk about us again, but I changed my surname. I now have Mika's surname now. The difference between a marriage and a civil partnership is that if you have a civil partnership, unlike a marriage, your name doesn't get changed automatically. Instead, you do have to change it by deed poll. So I did that. I'm waiting for my new driver's license. I got my new bank card this morning, and I'm so happy because it has my new name on it, and it's your name, and it's just very exciting.
Now you are my missus.
Yes, everything says Mrs. as well. It's
Yeah.
weird.
And now bad news. So that's all the good stuff you get. You can change your name. Everything you have will be both of yours. Yeah, all that stuff. The bad part is that if you want a child and one of you gets pregnant and the child is born in the family.
Can I guess? Let's say it's two women in that union. If one of them gets pregnant, is she the only mother?
Yes.
Great.
So
I knew that was what you were going to say.
If the kid is born in this civil partnership, it's they see it the same way as they wouldn't be married. So it's less rights for those parents who have civil partnership than those parents who are married.
What if it's two men?
Oh, if it's two men, they can't adopt. It's not legal to adopt if you have civil partnership. So those two things, we appreciate the effort, but in the end, it's saying we can give you something and just giving us like breadcrumbs instead of actual bread.
Yeah.
Like, take this and be happy and get out of our faces, basically.
Yeah.
But it's still not right. It's not equal rights.
No.
So that's my news for today. I'm not gonna get into even more because it's not the great news, but still.
Shall we hear some positive news then?
Let's get some
I say positive. It's just a bit light-hearted, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. I'll read the headline, right? And the headline's kind of misleading. Gay couple's pride flag stolen from outside their home. But the story doesn't end in disaster for once. So there was a gay couple in Ohio last week. Their pride flag outside their house disappeared, right? They assumed it was one of the many cases of pride flags being stolen or burned by homophobes. They hoped to catch who did it from some security footage in the area. They were hoping that it got caught on video. Locals immediately rallied round the couple, including Joe Hochheiser. Is that how you say his name? Hochheiser.
I have no idea.
No idea. Hochheiser. That looks like a typo. Not to be mean to Joe. I'll just call him Joe. How about that?
Shouldn't say typo like that. I think every other English word is a typo.
Oh. Locals immediately rallied around the couple, including Joe Gesundheit, who offered to replace the pride flag and donate 10 more to those who wanted them. We kind of live in this time where there's a lot of negativity. I thought, how can we spread a little bit of joy? How can we spread a little bit of light? But as the hunt for the culprit brought the community together, no one realised their dog, Daisy, was also on the case. Our dog started barking out the window, directly at a tree. So I opened the blinds, looked out the window, and saw a little red and orange stripe. I said, "Oh my God, that's our pride flag." And I looked and saw a big fat raccoon climbing up the tree.
I like the big fat raccoon. That's just me in the morning. Or evening if I eat a lot.
So, actually, can you explain then how the raccoon thing is related to you then?
So, way back, a few years back,
Yeah.
I kind of got into... Because a lot of YouTube videos started to show raccoons and stuff. And, like, I love raccoons now. Like, I fell in love with raccoons with all those videos when they, like, roll on the carpet.
Yeah.
It's just so cute. And I started identifying as one. You know, like my spiritual animal and all that.
Yeah.
And then all the name change happened.
Yeah.
And we were looking at names, starting with M and stuff. And you offered Mika. And I was like, oh, I love that name. And I started looking, just Googled it, what it means. You know, don't want to choose a name that means something bad.
No.
So in Native American...
Yeah, in we're not sure which...
we don't know
which tribe, which culture.
Yeah, but like it says.
I know, but they generalize it though, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So
but basically, it just said in Native America, name Mika means wise little raccoon.
we took it as a sign.
I took it. Yeah, I said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." And you know what? If you Google it now, it doesn't show on the first page. That time, it was the first result for me.
Ooh.
So that definitely was a sign.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Just to add to the end of this, that this couple let the raccoon keep the flag.
Sometimes that's what happens with people.
Yeah.
Like, you are queer, but you are afraid to come out or afraid to show it. And then you see someone else showing it.
Yeah.
And if someone else says, here, take my binder or my clothes or like something.
Aww.
And it just makes their day, so
Yeah.
good for that raccoon.
What a nice little gay raccoon. I like the last sentence.
Coon.
Oh, gay coon. I like the last sentence of this. The neighbours have kept theirs too, so now there are 10 new pride flags flying in the neighbourhood. 11 if you count the raccoons.
Imagine raccoons like trash bin.
Yeah.
And there's a pride flag in it because it's his house.
Okay. Last piece of news then is related to today's topic. This week, the University of Edinburgh distributed a list of transphobic microaggressions for staff to avoid, including remarks that place, quote, excess focus on anatomical sex markers. So this is guidance that staff have been given at the university. These micro insults can take the form of everyday, verbal, non-verbal, and environmental slights, snubs, or insults, both intentional and unintentional, which communicate a hostile, derogatory, or negative message. So far, so good. The list includes things like, all women hate their periods. I can hear your annoyance already.
So, we did this, you showed me this article before we started recording.
Yeah.
And I almost said something. And I was saying, turn it on first, like, let's record first so I can actually have a genuine thing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to say things and then we record after and I have to repeat myself. Those things like, you can read them all, like all women hate periods, all people think about being the opposite gender. Really? Like, have you ever had the period and wanted to die on the spot? Not die, just erase yourself from existence.
I know.
Which is even worse. You just don't want to exist that day or that week.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just...
You just want to rip out your ovaries.
Basically, yeah. And same with any other gender dysphoria. Like, that's how you feel. It's so extreme most of the time. It's so extreme that you can't compare it to the hate. You can't compare it to, I hate my voice. And you actually feel dysphoric about your voice. Like, I don't feel dysphoria about my voice that often.
Yeah.
I usually don't hear it, and just sometimes I feel like, oh god. But like very, very rarely. I don't like my voice, and sometimes I hate it, but it's more like hate than dysphoria. So like I know the difference between actual hating your voice and dysphoria.
Yeah.
That kind of thing is like hating being like hating having some fat on yourself and actually feel
like you
want
can't
to just
live with it anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a lot of AFABs has like wider hips and they look in the mirror and they're just like, oh my god, I just want to cut them off.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing is not just ordinary hate for your, like that's the thing. People need to understand the fact that you need to get into that person's shoes.
Yeah.
And not just say, everyone has that. I had that from my friends saying everyone has problems. And I wasn't selfish and I didn't want them to come and help me. I just want them to understand why I need some space and why I need some time from them. And all I got was everyone has the shit they go through. Yes, they do. But I'm not asking you to save me or help me. I'm asking you to be patient with me and give me some space. You don't have to say... If you think these things, it's bad enough. But you don't have to say them out loud. Think these things and then think, well, I'm not in that person's shoes. I can't talk for them. Yeah. And just don't say it. And that's all I have to say.
Is that the end of your TED Talk?
Yes, thank you for listening for my TED Talk.
Okay. There are other things on here that staff are told to avoid. Again, about voices. There are women with low voices, so why do you dislike yours? Like, you just have to learn to love it. That kind of thing. I don't understand why you don't just love yourself.
Oh.
I know.
That one. That is when you tell the person, like, that is the type of people you don't spare.
Yeah.
You just say, because I want to kill myself for that reason. And then they just realize how serious it is.
Yeah.
Because, again, mistaking, like, saying hate and actual dysphoria, or, like, you can't live with it.
It reminds me of what RuPaul says at the end of every episode of Drag Race. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else?
That is the
like
truth.
why does someone giving out love depend on whether they love themselves first? Why is self-love a prerequisite?
Because when you're happy, you give happy emotions. That's why most of the people who are always angry or hating on you, usually they have problems with themselves. So those people who scream the most, like homophobic, transphobic things, most likely their life is not that great. They're not happy in their own life. So they pay attention to other people's lives and trying to find bad things in there. That's why if you love yourself and you're happy with your life, you come outside, you smile because you have nothing to worry about and your life is great. And then you just see good things in other people because you don't have a reason to bring them down. And that's other thing, like to learn not to bring others down just because you are down that day.
I think it's different for me though. I don't feel that. Instead, if I'm feeling bad about myself, I make sure other people are happy because I know what that feels like to not feel as bad as I do, and I don't want anybody to feel like that.
Again, everyone is different.
Yeah.
But most of the time, that's why angry people exist and hate exists.
I know what you mean.
Traumas and stuff, like if you've been traumatized, most of the time you do same thing to others for some reason.
You're either a man or a woman.
Oh. I think we can't move on that. Like everything you say, I'm gonna have something to say.
Let's go through a few at a time then, okay? You're either a man or a woman. You're just dressing for effect. Or you're just trying to be special.
No.
Oh.
I have to stop you there.
Oh, okay.
You are special. Everyone, you are special.
Everyone listening now.
Yes.
You are special. You are loved. You are valid.
Yes.
This is everything that's been given out that people can't say. They're being told this for a reason. These aren't things that people have said, although people do say them. This is information given out to staff, so this doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Because
you are special, you are valid, and you are loved, and we love you as well.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, can't you just be a butch lesbian?
I'm trying not to cut you off there again.
Oh, come on. You can say something about this one.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's another box you have to be in. Another label you have to fit in. And that is why it took me so long to get where I am now. It took me 27 years to realize that I'm non-binary. Just because of that.
Yeah.
Butch lesbians. Okay, I'll be that then. But then again, I don't feel like that. Because then you expected to be a certain type. Expected to do certain things when you're butch lesbian. And there's another box.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be. If you identify as that, that's okay. But you don't have to be a stereotypical... Like, there shouldn't be a box for that.
Yeah, I know. It's like that whole time when I said that when I was growing up, I thought I was a bit of a tomboy. And then when I was a teenager, I still didn't feel girly enough. But I still didn't feel enough like a tomboy to call myself a tomboy. So I was stuck in between the two. And it took me 26 years to put a label to that. And I know labels... Like you said, labels is like trying to put yourself into another box. But to me, labels help.
No, the
because
thing is,
I like things that have a name to them.
If you put a label on yourself, if you put a label on yourself, it's okay. It's okay to know, and it's okay to tell other people, because you need a name for that. But don't let it control you. Just because you are you identify a certain label doesn't mean you have to follow any rules for it. Like if you identify as a man, doesn't mean you have to be toxic, like you have to have toxic masculinity, be super masculine, or like be very manly.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that. As long as you say, I identify as a man, that's enough.
That's enough.
Yeah, same with like anything. Same the way you say you feel like a woman is just your dressing preferences.
Yeah, my expression.
Yeah, your expression every day changes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that people see you the way you dress instead of the actual you.
Yeah.
That problem was always like in my head. I just want to be me. Just me, that's it. I don't want to be anything else. Just me. Just see me. That's all. Yeah.
This guidance from the university was co-produced by trans students who experienced invasive questioning and touching once they revealed they were trans.
Touching.
People feel entitled to ask questions that are really intimate.
I got shivers, I'm sorry. I just got shivers from that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I disturbed you.
People feel entitled to ask questions that are really intimate that they'd never ask a cis person. Because you've been honest about being trans, then they think that they've been invited into some sort of sexual or personal discussion. Oh, so you're trans. So what do you have down there? What's in your pants?
For some reason it's
How big were your boobs?
Oh, no.
Oh. What was your real name?
Oh, I hate that question. I'm not out at work. People don't know. Most of the people, like, I don't think anyone knows really, like, what's the real deal. But no one questions because they're inclusive and they're, like, respectful. No one can say anything. And when I changed my name, some people did say, so what was your name before?
Oh.
And I was like, it doesn't matter
Doesn't
now.
matter.
Like, I understand.
This is my name now.
Yeah, I didn't tell them the reason I changed it. But still, like, what's the point in asking what it was?
I know.
Don't want to talk about it.
I think it's still a bit of, like, instinct. Like, people automatically just think that.
Yeah.
Without thinking about what it is they're asking.
Yeah, again, think. Okay, think.
Yeah, think before you speak.
Yeah, like, we all make mistakes and we all think sometimes, like, misgender in our heads and, like, use the wrong pronoun in our heads. But catch yourself using that wrong pronoun, and when you actually say it, like, fix yourself like that. Like, learn to change it in your head first. If you can't get used to it quick enough, think before you say things.
Yeah. Can I mention your pronouns for a sec?
Okay.
So, the other day you asked me to try using they, them more than she, her.
Yeah.
Just at home with me. And I'm still adjusting to that in my head. Even though you are who you are to me, it is still difficult.
Well, you asked me to use those as well to see how they feel.
I did.
Yeah, and it's exactly the same to me. Like, I have to think sometimes to change it, because that's, like, it's okay to make mistakes like that. Yeah. It's not okay to be a bigot and ignore it. You know, I had a few people at work when I changed my name. I said, my name is Mika, not that other name you used. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, it's so hard to remember. I'm like,
it's 4 letters.
Like, I'm not gonna answer you if you call me that other name. Like, you got one shot. Yeah. And I'm not gonna answer next time. And you know, that guy, next time he walked by, like, passed me by, he's like, hi, and then he actually tried to remember the name. Ah. Mm-hmm. And I said, Mika. Yeah, Mika.
Wow, you didn't tell me that part.
Yeah, I forgot. It was like day after.
Yeah. Good for him.
That's the thing. The only thing that's stopping you from accepting is you. Yeah. Like, just chill.
Mm. So, we'll round up this story then, and then we'll move on. Okay? As well as listing phrases to avoid, the University of Edinburgh guidance also educates staff on trans and non-binary experiences, including what it means to transition, the importance of pronouns, increased need for medical support, and the difficulties in navigating a gendered environment. Lecturers are asked to put their pronouns in emails and encouraged to wear rainbow lanyards on site to help make trans and non-binary people feel more welcome.
Oh.
That's the thing. Anybody, it doesn't matter if you're trans or cis, anybody can put their pronouns at the bottom of an email.
Yeah, to normalize it, basically. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt anyone.
Like, again, about my gender, I still call myself cis. I still feel comfortable with that. I wouldn't call myself trans. But I would still put my pronouns at the bottom of an email. It's on my Facebook. It's at the top of my page on my Facebook and things like that.
That's why it feels like, it doesn't feel bad. It feels weird if you start questioning something like you did.
Yeah.
Like for you, it's very confusing and hurting, and you usually end up crying about it because it's so like confusing.
Yeah.
Because then you feel if you want to change something, you have to be trans, but then you don't feel like you're trans, and then you just get confused and end up crying about it.
Main reason I cry about it is because I just don't want gender markers anywhere. I just don't want gender to be a thing. By the time I'm that upset about it,
fuck gender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, that's the thing. And then you think about agender, because that's what it is. A person without a gender.
Yeah.
But then you feel like you don't want that because you still want to be a woman.
Yes.
And
I still like those words.
And that's okay. So that is how gender flux works, really.
Yeah.
You from no gender to your gender.
Yeah.
To like that slider, that's it. Mm. But the thing is, the most hurtful thing is that people are still very gendered, and there's still two things.
Yeah.
Like woman and man for them. And that's the most hurtful thing, that day when you don't feel like 100%, and you just want to look smart, and like when you put just...
When I just want to be focused on work, I don't want any attention drawn to me. Yeah.
And then someone just looks at you or just asks you like, why are you wearing that?
Yeah.
Are you trans? And then again, there's nothing wrong of being trans, but not everybody who dresses not stereotypically to your gender is trans.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Just because your hair is short, and her hair is short because... Sorry. Their hair is short.
Thank you. Wow.
Because they don't like their hair in their eyes.
That's all.
And the ears.
Ears. And the back of the neck.
And it looks great.
Oh, thanks.
But it's mostly that, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
You like how it looks, and it annoys you to hell when it's long.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, the first time I went into a new school, my first lesson that day, you're literally given about 5 minutes to get used to the room before the lesson starts. And the kids are lining up outside. You're still getting the room ready. You're getting used to everything. Where is the markers for the whiteboard and things like that? And the kids are waiting outside. One of them knocked on the door, poked his head through the door and said, "Sir, can we come in?" And of course, that was the first thing that bothered me.
Yeah.
Not that they were waiting outside or that they asked if they could come in before I let them come in, but the fact that that boy called me sir.
Yeah.
So I addressed that first. I said, it's Miss, and yes, you can come in. Cue the laughter. Now, I hear the laughter in response to what I said. My head immediately thinks, oh God, they're laughing at me.
Yeah.
Because I look androgynous. Like, my gender is ambiguous, that kind of thing. So I think they're laughing at me. And then they're all pointing and laughing at the boy that called me sir. And that took a lot of the pressure off, to be honest.
Yeah, because, they called him out for being silly, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then... No, sorry.
Yeah.
So once all the laughter had died down and I was able to say what I had to say, I said, you've not met me before. I'm going to brush that under the rug. No, I'm not offended. No hard feelings. I am a woman. I did address it like that. I'm not a man. I'm not trans. I am a woman. My name is Miss.
And you said it about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, we know you're not a bigot. We know you're not, arrogant and say whatever,
yeah.
you know.
I don't want... thing is, though, if you're not that, but people still make that assumption, we get really defensive about it, don't we? We want to correct people to say, oh, no, I'm not that. But there's no harm in someone thinking that, because it's not offensive. It's not a bad thing to be that.
Yeah.
Like, in school, when I was like 12, some bitch spread a rumour about me, and it stuck around for like 4 years. Some bitch spread a rumour that I was a lesbian, and the whole school found out. For some reason, it got round that some girl in year 7's a dyke. Sorry, but yeah. I couldn't brush that off until those older kids left the school, and I was practically about to leave myself. I could not brush off that rumour. And the girl that spread this rumour, she left at the end of year 7. She left me with this rumour that I couldn't shake for 4 years.
We need to track her down and tell her that you live with me now.
I know her name.
And you live with me now. Send her photos of our wedding. Who's laughing now, bitch?
What, so she can make assumptions again that I'm gay?
No. You got the best of everything.
I did. But again, like when I say I couldn't shake off that rumour, when you're a kid and people say, oh, that's so gay, you want to get rid of that because that mindset, gay equals bad. Gay equals wrong.
That was what we grew up with.
Yeah.
That's why we have this problem of people being transphobic and homophobic, because we grew up that way. They made jokes about people, like about cross-dressers. They made jokes about gay guys, stereotypes, about lesbians, like bi people don't even go there.
Yeah. Like I've said on the podcast before, when I was growing up, I had feelings for girls, but I still had feelings for guys. And I was like, am I gay or straight? Gay or straight? There was no in-between for me. I didn't know that there could be an in-between, a both.
Yeah, that's the thing. That word, it was there, but no one talked about it, and you would think...
No!
Same way...
No one said a fucking word.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, didn't understand what's going on with me, even though I liked only girls.
Yeah.
And when I actually said, well, yeah, this is just me now. Like, I looked at people on the internet and stuff and said, oh, shit, that's how I feel. And then I started looking back, like, every year back.
Yeah.
Shit, I felt like that since I remember, since I was, like, that big.
Yeah.
Do you want to move on gender neutral? On our topic.
Our actual topic, yeah. Actually, no, because the news was related, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
All right. So I got this picture from a teachers group. And the header on this is gender neutral terms to address a group. Now, it's geared towards children. We've got things here like folks with an X, peeps, pals, epic humans, team, earthlings, sunshines, kiddos, Kit Kats. I like Kit Kats.
I'm still hungry. Don't talk about Kit Kats.
Beautiful people, future leaders of the world, change makers. I like that. I like change makers.
Sounds weird.
Homo sapiens, if you just want to be a bit on the face of it, because, come on, you're not teaching any dogs, I hope. Party people, movers and shakers. Oh, this one's from Tiger King. Cool cats and kittens.
Oh.
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin here at Big Cat Rescue. Oh, God. Okay. I'm assuming these people are American, because one of them here is Morning Glories. I would definitely not call a child Morning Glory. I don't know if that has the same meaning here as it does in America. I think that's why. Okay. Scholars, snickerdoodles. I think a snickerdoodle is like some sort of biscuit.
No idea.
Happy people, and this is the one we're going to talk about. Dadies and gentle dems.
For some reason, every time I hear it, it feels the same as the other one.
Yeah.
It still feels like they're trying too hard at this point.
Yeah.
It's
It's like we're trying to be inclusive, but you're still stuck in two groups. I lost this picture, right? And I had to go back into this teacher group to ask, does anyone have a copy of this? And the response I got was all the people saying, oh, I like to use this, I like to use that. And when I finally got someone that gave me the picture, I said, thank you, thank you. Ooh.
I'm so sorry.
Somebody needs to keep the ring on the finger and not use it as a fidget.
I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me.
Somebody needs to keep the ring on the fucking finger.
If you don't hear from me in like 24 hours, please call. Please help.
Let me keep this in.
I'm joking. Just for the record.
So when somebody finally gave me this picture back and I said, thank you, thank you, thank you, this is what I've been looking for, I read the other names on it and I got to ladies and gentlethems, and I went back to the comments on this and people were saying that they would like to try it out on their children in a classroom, and I had to comment and this is what I put, and I hope this is okay because I'm kind of speaking for you now.
Okay.
All right. A few people in the comments are saying they would like to try out ladies and gentlethems on their children. I believe this is the only one in the picture that could be problematic. I really recommend you don't use ladies and gentlethems for fear of making non-binary and trans students feel dysphoric. It makes it out like a person's assigned gender of birth is still important for someone to exist. And for MBs, they don't want that. They want to forget that part of their past, not be reminded by it. My spouse is NB, and I know they would not like being called that, even by someone who means well. Also, not every MB uses they-them pronouns, and this phrase would exclude them even more.
Yes.
P.S. NB comes from those two letters, short for non-binary. Not all non-binary people like this word either, so before you use it to describe someone, please make sure they're okay with it.
Yeah, apparently NB for some people is like queer for some people. Like some people do like queer.
Some people still don't like the word queer.
It's like a slur for some.
Yeah.
So if you call someone NB, ask them if they're okay with that before you actually start calling them NB.
Yeah. I've got another thing here from Pink News. It's one of those like infographics with a lot of text. There's two columns. What you might usually say, and on the other column is swap it out for. The first one, that lady over there. And what are we swapping it for?
That person over there.
Ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Folks, people, everyone, guests, persons.
Persons. Why is persons a plural and why is it not just people? Actually, I don't know why I'm asking you.
Exactly. Žmonės.
Excuse me?
Žmonės.
You fucking what? Let's take this outside. Sister or brother?
Sibling, relative.
Boyfriend or girlfriend?
Partner, spouse.
She, her, he, him.
They, them.
They, them. They're not the only pronouns.
No, there's
They're
a
not
million
the only
others.
neo-pronouns.
Yes.
There's Z and Zer. There's A and Air, I think. I think that's the other one. And Faye. And Fair.
At this point, I'm just laughing at your accent.
Great. Is that because I said air?
Fair.
God's sake.
I'm sorry.
So basically, there are more pronouns out there than just just he, she, and they. That's all. There's hundreds. Some non-binary people like being referred to with it.
Yes. I don't like that. I mean, if the person likes that, yes, we
then of
respect
course
that.
respect it.
But like, some people use it to disrespect non-binary people.
I know. Like,
if
it
you're
suddenly
not
doesn't make you human anymore.
If you're not man or a woman, what are you then? A desk? You know, that kind of thing. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny at the moment.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shouldn't have laughed. I'm sorry.
That was a bit funny, not gonna lie.
You looked at a desk and saw a desk.
Yeah, that was the first thing. Desk.
Yeah.
Desk. Okay.
Actor, actress, waiter, waitress, mailman, policeman.
Actor, server, mail carriers, police officer. We call our male male person.
Yeah, so you thought they were a woman, and I didn't want to assume, so I called them a post person.
Yeah, post person.
Post person.
Yeah, and haven't seen them in a while, but like every person is
I
post person.
I don't think I've seen them since before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they just get swapped out and stuff.
Good.
We just get whoever we get.
And police officer as well, like.
Yeah.
That's the thing, you don't have to put the gender on every fucking thing. You know, when they...
Well, okay, go on.
When you fill in forms and they ask for your occupation.
Yeah.
There's a factory man and factory woman.
Where? What form was this?
Every form, if you want to be a factory worker...
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't have worker, they have factory man or factory woman.
Ugh.
So then I put warehouse operative or something. Sometimes they don't have that. Yeah, and then you have to put something in.
Yeah.
So if I lie, it's not my fault. There's just no option for that.
Yeah. Not to be too pedantic, but you are a warehouse operative because a factory worker would actually make the stuff and you don't.
But sometimes warehouse operative is not an option. Warehouse manager, but not a person who works in a warehouse.
I'm a manager now, bitches. You should just say that.
Yeah, some people put anything.
Like if there's no MX option when picking a title.
I pick doctor ones.
Yeah.
I love when people do that as well. Like, so, tomorrow I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna be a doctor now.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a reverend.
Yeah, like, is that more important?
I know.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ridiculous, I know. And then they have like Lord and Lady and Master and all this. And no gender neutral.
Yes.
They've got all the titles in the world. They've got like Baron and Baroness and like Duke and Duchess. How many Duke and Duchesses do you know, Mika?
Send me back. I'm broken.
I think we need to move on. The non-binary show was presented by Mika and Sam. Mika is dead now.
Broken.
R.I.P. I found a nice blog post from a non-binary person really breaking down everything that could be done in the language. They talk about pronouns. They talk about, singular they.
Yeah, that's the thing people say as well.
Yeah.
It's like, they supposed to be for the group, and then you see all these things in history and like old written stuff, and they have they in them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you do when you don't know a person and you say they.
Yeah.
I used to do that before I even knew what non-binary is.
Yeah.
Like, I used to do that, and then I actually misgendered someone and thought, that's it, from now on I'm using they. And that's how I started using they all the time. And
Nice.
and then I realized I'm non-binary, then I realized I like they. And now here we are.
Yeah. So I realised this today, and I think I might know why people are consciously uncomfortable with singular they, right? Like you said, when we're in school, we learn he for a boy, she for a girl, they for someone you don't know, or a group of people, right? For someone you don't know, right? Now, because we've learned that from a young age, we're okay with that. Our brains don't pick up on that we're using that. But the second we meet someone, or like we read their name or we see their face, we immediately make an assumption.
Yeah.
And suddenly you have to make a decision with that person. Are they male or female? And if you're confused, what do I do? Where do I go from here? I'm just lost. Oh my God. And that's where you have to consciously use they. Suddenly you have to think about it. And that's why people are getting their knickers in such a twist. Have you heard that before?
That's such a British thing to say.
Knickers in a twist. I think Americans say panties in a bunch as well. It's a thing. But that's why people are getting so riled up, because they suddenly have to consciously say they.
Again, it's okay to not be natural with it. Like, we are all human. We have our own, like, when you get used to something, it's hard to change it. Habits.
Yeah.
Our own habits. But just don't be rude and try changing it. I'm never upset or mad at people who say the wrong name, especially when I just changed it. I always said, no, my name is this. And then if they say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm like, it's okay. You're trying, and you keep forgetting. My manager almost like hit himself every time he used the wrong name. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What's wrong with me? I'm like, it's okay. You're trying. And I appreciate that. And then after a while, he got used to that. And then, like, that is okay to make a mistake. And no one's mad. But when you go out and everyone's just saying things like, it's too hard for me to remember, I don't know if I can. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Just
actively train yourself to learn something.
Yeah.
It's like, if this whole time you thought that the sky was blue, and then it turns out you're colorblind, and it turns out it's like pink or something, you suddenly have to train yourself to when you say, the sky's so lovely today, it's so lovely and blue. Shit, pink! Pink, 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 pink. You tell yourself that the sky is a different color. You learn that again.
Yeah, that's what
I'm getting
humans
really...
do. Yeah.
My knickers are getting in a twist now.
I'll check your knickers later. You're not supposed to laugh. It's like, you know, when you wink at a girl and she, like, cute giggle. It's like,
That was me on our first date.
It was. You were laughing your ass off, and I was there like, am I a joke to you?
No, I told you it was nervous laughter because
I think it's cute.
Aww.
I think it's so cute. I love when people laugh.
Okay.
I'm never mad.
I just realised I probably do need to cut that out because my brother-in-law listens to this.
We're all adults here.
Well, like I said, he can rat this out to my sister, and then my sister could probably just tell my mom
that I'm looking into your knickers. I think they know that because we're already married. There was a couple of women who got married because they're besties recently.
Oh, God.
It's not a piece of news, really, because it's bullshit. And, like... So basically they got married because they're besties and it's easier, and they still have relationships with men, and they just married just to be married. So, yeah. So I don't think your family thinks about us that way, that we just besties and we got married. I think they know what's going on. And
I'm pretty sure my mum tells people that you're my friend.
Mate. Sam's mate.
Mate. Ugh. She knows we're more than that. Come on, get with it, Mom.
I mean, I'd rather have that than them asking questions.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing, like, things like what I said, it's just...
They did it again!
I'll stop now. Please don't hurt me.
I'm going to finish the podcast now.
Like, what I said wasn't sexual like that. Like, it wasn't revealing something.
No.
It was just like a joke, a bit dirty joke.
I know.
Yeah, so I don't think anyone would have problem with that.
I think they just winked at me.
I might have. I don't know what's wrong. I just want some coffee. I
thought you had coffee.
Yeah, after an hour, I remember why I went to the kitchen an hour ago. Wait,
what? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you looking for?
No.
Hang on. What are you looking for?
Episode order.
Oh,
the gender neutral thing.
This, I knew.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to sign off now because we're just getting our knickers in a twist. So, epicumens.
Y'all.
Folks.
Snickerdoodles.
Kit Kats.
Kiddos.
Earthlings.
Friends.
Morning glories.
Homies.
Change makers.
Rad jazz cats.
Future leaders of the world.
Happy people.
Party people.
Fam.
Homo sapiens.
Team.
Peepadoodles.
Dogs.
Meow meows.
Sunshines.
Fam jam. Did you say fam jam?
No.
Oh, fam jam.
Gumdrops.
Team.
I'm lost now. All you beautiful people.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Jazz hands.
Jazz hands. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Non-Binary Show.
If you would like to be mentioned in a future episode, please send us your thoughts on today's topic to one of our socials.
Our Instagram is at non.by.neri.
Our Facebook at non.by.neri.show.
You can also email us at non.by.neri.pod@gmail.com.
Or send us a voice message at anchor.fm/nonbinary. That's all one word, no dots.
See you next time, and remember, you are valid.
Yeah.
You gotta... Oh, I've lost it.
Are you a cat?
What, because I'm trying to catch flies?
Yeah.
It'll come back, and then when I'm editing, I'll just hear